When the new chair of AUC was elected, I wrote him a very long letter. And I told him, please stop holding meetings. Implement. Because Africa has solutions and resolutions about everything. On agriculture, on health. Abuja, 2001 in Abuja, we said all African countries are going to spend 15% of their budget in the health sector. Not one except Mauritius and Rwanda, who have reached 8%. We are importing maize from Brazil that was meant for cows. Because we are disunited. I go to Juba, flying for 55 minutes or 1 hour, 20 minutes, depending on the equipment. Sudanese pound, South Sudanese. I must now look for the dollar. Europe and America love it when we are confused and divided. China loves it when we are confused and divided. Look at the Arab world. Look at little Qatar. Last week, Norway hit the sovereign fund of Norway. You can Google as I talk. Has now stuck 2 trillion, which means notionally every Norwegian has to his or her credit $384,000. Sini binadamu kama sisi tu. We must identify our priorities. Unfortunately, we don't. And until the day that we identify our priorities, we are going nowhere. We now are talking about the Konza technology. The South Koreans are very deeply involved, but will there be transfer of technology after they leave? Perhaps we will not have it. We are talking about, as I speak to you now, the university, public university have been on strike for almost a month. That is a national crisis and emergency. Have you heard our parliament meet that there is a national crisis? No, instead we are talking about elections which are 1.5 years away, and our young men and women are not going to school, which means those who had acquired scholarships are losing them. Nobody cares. Recently at one of the universities here, a medical student who had gone into a 5-year course graduated after 9 years. When you now go for your postgraduate, they're asking you, how did a 5-year course take 9 years and you have an upper, second and first class? What was happening? You are repeating every year. Nobody cares. Because your political class take their children to Europe and America and Australia and Malaysia and South Africa. They don't care. And it's true of every African country, except for very few. Second question you are asking, how can we stop interference? Interference will always be there. It is our duty to resist. It is in the nature of the world and the nature of humanity that there will always be an attempt at interference. You know, sometimes, I do not know whether you watched the United Nations General Assembly when the world leaders were addressing the assembly. When the President of the United States of America was addressing the assembly and he was insulting everybody. Everybody was there, Africans shaking their heads and they are being insulted. When President Mahama was delivering one of the most iconic speeches, the president of Ghana, they had gone, it was empty, they were shopping. How can we grow? The fault is with us. We have blamed others for too long. The time now is for us to take responsibility. What could we have done better? The question that I want you to do when you leave here, you are not going to change the world dramatically. You are not going to part any Red Seas. Start by changing your village. What are you doing in your village? What are you doing in your immediate space? Luther King put it very well. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, but keep on moving. Let it be said of you that because you came, we are slightly better. The young man, the final question asked, what must we do? When you are doing the right thing, you attract criticism. Kuna watu tu. When people are not criticizing you, know that you are doing nothing. There are people who will hate what you are doing because it is good, and they are saying, why is it not me who is doing it? But you must be at peace with your conscience. Don't be too clever. Don't be too self-righteous. I want you to read 2 poems before you leave here. I hope they'll be read to you. One of them is by Rudyard Kipling, a poem that you know so very well. If somebody will get it. The next poem that I want you to read is the poem entitled Fear by the Lebanese American Khalil Gibran. Who can get Khalil Gibran? And you read the poem, then I shut up. Khalil Gibran. The poem is Fear. Somebody has found it? Come, read it. Khalil, that's one of the greatest poems I've ever read. Khalil Gibran. Fear. Read it as if you are reading a poem. Karibu ndugu. Soma kwa mtiririko mzuri tu. Umeipata? Imepotea tena? Teknolojia inakutesa? Si hivyo. Mwingine ameipata? Yeah, please. Read it. Yeah, just read it.
Okay. Let me read. It is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled, from the peaks of the mountains, the long winding road crossing forests and villages, and in front of her, the seas and ocean so vast that to enter, there seems nothing more than to disappear forever. But there's no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean, because only then will fear disappear. Because that's where the river will know it's not about disappearing into the ocean, it's but of becoming the ocean.
And the point I want to make when you talk about fear, when you are doing things, there'll be moments of doubt. As you move, you'll ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? And then you discover that you cannot go back. In a manner of speaking, you've crossed the Rubicon and burnt your boots. You think, am I going to be drowned? Then you think I'll disappear. Then you discover that you become part of a bigger thing, because in order to create a forest, you need every tree. In order to create the ocean, you need every droplet. You are all droplets. The ocean is AYLF. Swim in it. Question, my good friend from South Sudan. The Greeks divided their society in the following way. There were those whom were called idiots. Washenzitu. Then there are tribalists and citizens. The idiots don't care what is happening. They are the ones who, when they are drinking water from this bottle and they get out there, they just throw the bottle out. They think somebody will collect it. Idiots. And you see it with our matatu culture, with our border culture. Idiots. Then there are tribalists. People who don't look at merit. And then there are citizens. People who want the best for their countries. And I'm answering your question by saying Africans must love themselves. You know, I was looking at the GDP, not that GDP is a good measure, but is an acceptable measure. The GDP of Singapore. Singaporean population, I think it is not more than 5 million. The GDP of Singapore is bigger than all the 8 East African countries combined. 8 of them. 589. If you look at today's statistics which have been released, Kenyan GDP is 136, Tanzanian is 87, Ugandan is 67, Rwanda is 14, Burundi is 7.5 billion, South Sudan is 4.5. That is our GDP. What do they have? The mind is the standard. Mobile phones. There is not a single African country that produces the mobile phone. Rwanda assembles, we are also assembling. We only assemble. Why can't we? We are importing fish from China, did you know? Kenya imports fish feed from Brazil. I do not know what bottle you have on your, who is that water is from is what? The one in front of you? Dasani, Coca-Cola, water, maji, Coca-Cola. Of Atlanta, America, maji. In Kenya, hata maji. My view is that Africa must unite to stop doing certain things. All the seats you are sitting on are from China or Turkey. All of them. Can't we make them? If we united as East Africa, toothpick. Ukiingia China Square, unapata toothpick tunanunua kutoka Uchina. And when Europe have abandoned their clothes, they bring them to Gikomba. What Europe has rejected, we consume as new. Hata Mungu anashangaa. So my view is, within the East African community, look even at the education sector, and the academics here will tell you, we said that we were going to harmonize our education system. So that if I'm a student of engineering at the University of Dar es Salaam and I want to move to Mount Kenya University or to Embu University or to Murang'a University or Nairobi University, I just move. Today, look at the way we are dealing with our education. Nobody knows what we are doing. So that the Kenyan graduate going to Tanzania is now being subjected to pre-university admission. Some of you who are older will remember in the 1970s when we started the East African Certificate of Education, you could be employed at the University of Makerere. But we have messed all that. Unity of purpose is what Africa needs. God bless you.
Yes, here we are. Welcome and greetings all of you, brothers and sisters. I hope that you're okay. You are doing well. You heard a lot from Professor PLO Lumumba, a Pan-Africanist from Kenya. Professor has spoken very well. concerning several issues that is facing the continent of Africa, but I would like to focus on the issue of interference. Our professor said interference will be there as long as Africans, we don't come together, we don't resist. Recently, you heard the story of Nigeria and the US, and also most recently the issue of Kenya and Uganda. You know, we as Africans, if we show division and misunderstanding among ourselves, the enemy will take the advantage. So I'm saying this because if we don't be careful as Africans, we'll find ourselves that Kenya and Uganda will be at fighting, will fight one another if we don't be careful, because our enemies are finding an opportunity where they can create chaos, they can create environment for we Africans to fight each other. We know Uganda has discovered oil. We know Uganda has discovered uranium. Recently, Kenya has discovered huge deposits of gold. So no one is happy with this discovery of these natural resources. So they're finding the way to make sure these countries are going into conflict, to make sure that the people of those countries are not going to benefit from their resources. And that's why you see they use these opportunities and sometimes our mistakes to make sure that we Africans we fall into traps of fighting each other. So my message to our leaders, our brothers and sisters in Kenya and Uganda, please, we Africans, we are one. These borders are just drawn by colonizers and those who want to divide Africa. So if we allow ourselves to be divided, to fight each other, my brothers and sisters, we are going to lose everything. We are going to lose everything. So it's my hope our leaders will take these issues very seriously. They will not fight each other. They will see each other as brothers and sisters and support one another. That's what we want to see in this continent. But I don't know, our leaders, what are they thinking about this continent? But all in all, it's my hope that maybe as time goes, our leaders will start changing. Because we have seen the coming of Gen Z. Gen Z have demanding accountability and responsibility from our leaders. That's what Africans need. So we don't need to fight each other. We don't need to see Kenyans fighting Ugandan, or Uganda against Kenya, or Rwanda against Congo. So I think we need to make sure that as Africans, we come together, we support one another. Those are just my opinions. Maybe you have different opinions. Please share with us through the comment section. And if you have something also more than what you heard, also you may share through the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, to share the video, and also to subscribe to join this big family of Make Africa Great. Let me say thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.